What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about Bitcoin today. It is the 14th day of February, and with that we say Happy Valentine's Day, or Unhappy Valentine's Day for anybody who is not celebrating. It is the 14th day, and here we are at about $69.3 thousand with roughly 1 day and 11 hours left in this week. More like 10 and a half hours left in this week, in this day. We did pump up a little bit yesterday, and I'm still not completely sure if Bitcoin's ready to move up. I mean, you look at this here on the index, there's not a whole lot of volume on this move up. I mean, I would have liked to see more. It's not necessarily a requirement until we get above these points here that we really see volume come in. It's completely possible this is the real deal and it does take us higher, or that this is a bull trap. Again, with the lack in volume and then volume's picking up here on this selling candle, it's very possible that this is a bull trap to trap in anybody who was really bullish here, but they didn't pull the trigger. They wished they did. They were going to wait for the prices to go even lower than this and maybe buy. And now they FOMO up here. The price will go down here eventually and probably even lower. That's my thought at the moment. I want to look at the short-term stuff. I don't want to go too much into my preconceived notions of the charts because I did that yesterday in one of my videos, and by the end of the video we had a whole different prediction. So I want to use the indicator so I don't throw anybody off or myself off. Let's talk about it on the 1 hour time frame. But for the time being, yes. I'm still cautious here. I still do believe that we could see a lower low. I still do. But I want to look at this. I want to look at this on the USDT chart first. Let's just see what the volume's like on this one. Yeah, not a lot of volume. Not a lot of volume at all. 1 hour time frame, zooming way in here. A lot of volume coming in on the selling pressure. Not a lot of volume on the buying pressure there. A little bit here. That's not bad. It's a little bit. That's actually looks better on the 1 hour here for this breakout. This just obviously would get given back, so you came down. This, though, I will say this in itself does not mean that we have to go lower. It's quite possible that we hold support at prior resistance and we do build higher. Let's look at the indicators. Double top on the 1 hour RSI. Don't mess with it. You probably do come down lower. Yeah, man, I bet you do come down lower. Looking at this RSI, actually, that double tops are pretty fierce. I would assume that we do at least go below these lows right here. We go back below $69,000, but ultimately I really wouldn't be surprised if we climbed slowly or quickly all the way back down to prices below this low here. Stochastics are weird but bearish. The MACD is somewhat bullish actually here. It is somewhat bullish, like right here. I'm trying to zoom in here. I don't know though. You had a false cross to the downside, then you crossed up, and it looks like that's a false cross too. I would say you are bullish overall on your MACD, but there's some bearish stuff. The hidden or the bearish divergence, the false double cross there. I think you come down. I'm pretty confident we do go back below 69K. Now again, does that mean that we go lower than this low here? No, but I would at least expect 68.4K, if not lower, to come into view. If we get down to 68.4K and we find support there or maybe around there, we don't really break below 68K. Let me just see. Yeah, if we, as long as we hold 68K, we bounce from there and then we get back above. We move about like $1,000 higher. If we can get back above, like, let's even say $70,000, if we can get back above $70,000 after hitting 68.4K for support, then I would think we're bullish. If we find resistance anywhere else along the way, then we likely are bearish and we'll continue moving lower. I'm taking the bearish stance for now until proven otherwise. In other words, still from this move, I'm not phased for my call to the downside. Yeah. Rejecting the overbought zone, that's not good. Stochastics are very hot right now. You know, the last time you were this hot was up here and you moved all the way down here. Your RSI is hotter though. I think that you stand to lose. I think that this next movement down, mark my words, when we move down here, right, from this same area that you're finding resistance at, it took you this long to move down. I think it's going to take less. You're gonna move down. I mean, it's the weekend. Maybe you move down over the weekend, or maybe you move down. Maybe you're neutral moving down over the weekend, and then on Monday you move down faster. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if the speed was faster here. The MACD, you're actually right at a perfect place to reject the MACD on the 0 here. With these oscillators coming up to this line, they'll probably reject down. Yeah, man, bearish. What is this here? Let's see. Pretty damn close, man. Pretty damn close. Yeah, I really wouldn't be surprised if we at the very least, at a bare minimum from here. I mean, at a bare minimum, it would be that 68.4K level. Maybe we find support there and move up. But here, I'm really thinking at a bare minimum, it'd be like 64.1 to 63.3K. And again, likely, I think the probability is still that we go lower. Probably somewhere around 58K or lower. The last time that we rejected the overbought zone on the RSI was here. And look at the pace. Look at the pace that we picked up on there. Right? Your stochastics were oversold here. Or overbought here. And we still moved down pretty fast, right? We moved down really fast here. Your stochastics and your RSI were overbought and then rejecting the overbought zone. You moved down. I mean, that was the beginning of this phase here. I feel like we're at the forefront of the same thing. And back here at the top right there, look at what your MACD did. Right? You had a slight cross to the downside, and then you rejected the 0. Slight cross to the downside right here at the rejection of the 0. Stochastics overbought, stochastics were overbought, RSI rejecting. It's all the same indicators. We literally look the exact same as we did here. We look the exact same on all of our indicators as we did here on the 28th of January when we were at 90K right before we started our descent all the way down to 60K. Not but like a week and a half later. Now, what I want to be clear on saying here is just because we have literally identical readings to this doesn't mean that we're going to see that exact same thing. Okay? I don't think that we're going to drop from 70K to 40K. But I wouldn't be surprised if we did see lower prices than this. Again, I think that a lot of people are trying to predict where the low is, as it always is in moments like this, right? We've been trying to predict the low here, all the way down, right? Everybody has. And I think in moments like this, people get very emotional. Whenever we go lower here, I think anybody who's assuming this is the low, when they're proven wrong, it's not going to be by much. It's not going to matter. It's going to be to the same significant effect as people who were saying, this is the low here, and then really it was here. Really, that doesn't matter. It's not a big difference. But from a low of 76K to a low of 74K, it's a slight difference, right? From a low of 60K to a low of 57K, it's a slight difference. That's all I'm saying. The daily RSI, it has a little bit of oomph to it, I have to say. You got some hidden bearish divergence though. Lower highs in the price, higher highs in the RSI. Same thing on the stochastics, and the MACD sucks. I mean, all of these indicators are very weak right now. I wouldn't be surprised in the least if we went down. I am surprised that we bounced right off that overbought zone though, or oversold zone though. I will say, kind of interesting. Weekly time frame is in the shitter. Definitely sucks. We do have a little bit of bullish divergence building over the weekly MACD, but again, these divergences can form for a very long time. You know, here we had it formed in August, on August 12th, some bullish divergence. We didn't break out until November 4th. August 12th, we had bullish divergence. We already found our low. We came back down near the low, but we didn't break out until November 4th. That's the thing there. Anyways, guys, I got nothing else to say. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. We're at 69.4K now. The expectation still is to go lower. I don't think that we're going to go higher. I do think that this will be a bull trap. Prove me wrong. It's really simple. It's really easy to do. First and foremost, I mean, from here, if you want to prove me wrong, all you have to do really is get above this high. That's all you have to do. If things go the way that I think they're going to go, there's another way that you could prove me wrong too. Go down to this 382, go down to about 68.4K. You can find support at 68K, 68.5K, 68.4K, somewhere right here in this zone. Doesn't have to be that line specifically, but 68.4K is the line of reference I'm going to use. Find support there, and then move back above 70K. So pretty close to getting above this high, but you don't even have to be above this high before we get bullish again, okay? If you can do that, then we're bullish. Or just from here, if you can get above this high, then we're bullish. Because effectively what you would have done is you broke above your golden ratio, found support on your golden ratio, now you're moving up. That is bullish. And I would think that we do take out these highs. Is that going to happen over the weekend where all the big dogs who have money are treating their significant others and their friends, or maybe just the two of them, they're on vacation or they're on a special day, they're probably not at the trading desk? I doubt it. I don't think we're going to see reliable price action on the weekend, especially with a day where people who do have capital are probably treating themselves, not focusing on the markets. I expect weird, wonky, false price action. I do think that this overall is a trap. I think the volume speaks for itself, and we'll see that aftermath take place probably sometime next week. We'll probably, maybe the weekend will be boring. Maybe it'll be a little bit boring. Maybe there'll be some downs and some ups and whatevers. But next week we should be dropping down lower with a higher velocity than what we saw here. At any rate, guys, I strongly believe that we could see a 58K to, what is it, like 55K price? Maybe 54K if I remember actually. 53.4K to 58.8K price, somewhere in there. That's where I think we're going to go. Hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you all for being here. Again, that's proven wrong once we get above the high that we put in today, which is at 70.5K, or if we go down to 68.4K, find support there, and then move back up. If we can do either of those things, then I'm wrong. Take care. Bye-bye. See you later.